My name is Graham Mosimann, and welcome to the all-new episode 2 of the Game Over Network's brand new daily hockey podcast, where we take you all around the wide world of hockey and get you up to date on everything that happened last night, as well as what to look forward to in the night before, and we all do it in 10 minutes or less. So with that, let's get things started, shall we, with one of the two late night games, as the Winnipeg Jets just beat the tar out of the Edmonton Oilers. But you may not have noticed because of how many times they played that clip from Connor McDavid yelling in the Amazon Prime documentary. They played that clip over and over and over. They got their mileage out of it, because you can imagine he may have been a little yelly and squirmy after the Oilers pulled in an absolutely terrible performance. But this team being bad in the very first game of the season is not something that's new or unfamiliar. They lost 8-1 to Vancouver last year. The year before that, they lost as well. The year before that, they lost as well. I'm fairly certain one of the only wins they've had in the past number of years was against the Calgary Flames in a shootout win where Mike Smith was the goalie of record for the Calgary Flames. So, the Oilers win this one. Pretty sure they're still going to be fine. Final score 6-0 as Connor Hellebuyck gets his 13th shutout of his career, and Leon Draisaitl's 8-game season-opening point streak comes to a close. Heading to the other Alberta team, some may say the team that's bad. Well, they at least won a game. Edmonton did not. The Flames ripped off a shocking come-from-behind win against the Vancouver Canucks with a 6-5 overtime winner. Connor Zary was sending Flames home happy with the OT winner after the team was trailing 3-0 midway through the very first period. Now, there was a moment, and I'm shocked there wasn't a penalty, because it was one of those hits where you heard the crowd go, ooh. You know those ones? Yeah, it was one of those. And JT Miller didn't even get a penalty on the play, but Chris Rooney was injured and would not return to the game. Now, JT Miller would have to respond with the good old-fashioned fisticuffs, because that's a thing that still happens in the NHL, as Anthony Mantha did net himself a Gordie Howe hat trick. Yeah, Anthony Mantha, remember him? He's a Flame now. Isn't that neat? And who needs Carey Price when you have Sam Montembeault, as he had a 48-save shutout to win against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Leafs straight up got goalied in this game, as they had look after look and chance after chance, and there was moments when the ice was tilted so aggressively that it was basically just vertical. You may also have noticed Cole Caulfield, but in a different sweater this time. Now, he did score the only goal and the game winner of this particular game, but as a tribute to the late, great Johnny Gaudreau, he flipped his number over from the 22 he had worn throughout all of his career over to Johnny Gaudreau's old number 13. Just a really sweet tribute by another smaller in stature American player. Now, this was a couple of weird stats in this game. This was the first time in over 250 games that the Toronto Maple Leafs had been shut out, which is a weird but very, very cool stat. Now, they were still 12 games away, I think, from the all-time record. But hey, it's something to really hang your hat on as a Leafs fan, because you certainly don't have any Stanley Cups to put your hat on in the meantime. Sorry about that, Toronto. Now, fresh off a massive contract offer from the New York Rangers that was declined, Igor Shesterkin had the shutout as they took a 6-0 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. And oh boy, the Penguins look poopy. They're looking more like Gen 2 penguins than Emperor penguins, and let's face it, the Gen 2 penguin is a garbage penguin, and these Pittsburgh Penguins are a garbage hockey team as they get steamrolled by a score of 6-0 over the New York Hockey Rangers. Chris Kreider with a pair of goals in that particular game. And finally, the Vegas Golden Knights steamrolled the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 8-4. Ivan Barbashev, Mark Stone, Victor Olofsson all scoring 2 goals each. Mikko Rantanen had himself a hat trick, but it was all going to be for nothing as the Avs took that first game that they played against the Golden Knights by that score mentioned of 8-4. Now, this has been a weird time for goalies, and we're going to dive into that a little bit more in just a quick sec here on Game on Hockey. My name is Graham Mosimann, and you can join every Monday and Thursday. Thursday, that's today, the brand new flagship game on Game Over Network hockey show, Hyperdrive Hockey with Max and Daphne. They have new episodes coming out on Monday and Thursday, diving into all the stories in hockey around the league with a definite tilt to it, because they bring their perspective as Quebecers to the league, and it's not something I think that a lot of us hear very often. It's a really, really, really good fun show. You can also join the Game Over Network Discord and hop on as a sponsor. You can find all that info for how to do that and who to talk to if you want to get your small business showcased on a show just like this one. You can do all over that at the Game Over Network.com. So we have the Oilers losing 6-0. We have the Penguins losing 6-0. We have the Golden Knights steamrolling the Avs by a score of 8-4. What in the Sam hell is going on with goaltenders this hockey season? I'm going to break it to you. It's nothing crazy. It's just that they don't have systems in place quite yet, and these teams are just messy. This happens every year. There's always this huge uptick in scoring at the very start of the year, and a lot of the kind of old school media talking heads go, "Oh boy, this is really the year, isn't it? Scoring has gone mad in the NHL." It really hasn't, friendo. Really hasn't. It's just they don't have a lot of structure into their games quite yet. It'll come. So if your team is built on a very good goalie, don't worry, that goalie is probably still good. They didn't turn into a pumpkin overnight. Remember, you can sponsor this show or any of the others over on the Game On and Game Over Networks. Just reach out through GameOverNetwork.com and our website. One more thing before we wrap up the show here. You may have missed from yesterday as Linus Ullmark signing a deal to stay with the Sens for 4 more years at $8.25 million, basically matching the Swayman deal, but with just less time. And that's it. It really looks like that the Linus Ullmark was waiting on Jeremy Swayman to sign to figure out what dollar figure he would end up at with the Ottawa Senators. But hey, congrats, Ottawa. You have your goalie not just now, but for the next 5 years, 4 years after that. And great news, he's one of the absolute best in the league. So even if this crazy restaurant idea of ours doesn't work out, you can always go back to slinging sandwiches at the Beef. That'll do it for me. I'm Graham Mosimann. We will talk to you tomorrow for the very next edition of Game on Hockey here with the Game Over Network. Have a great day. We'll talk then.